Hi, I'm Nicole Webb. I'm a virtual assistant and online business manager. I help small businesses with their workflows, operations, and automation.
Hey, I'm Nikki. I'm Nikki Nicole with Hydradiance. We're founder of Hydradiance, the grown woman skincare. And I help mature women love their skin from now to eternity.
Hi, I'm Shatayia Baker. I am the CEO and clinician of Peaceful Therapy Services here in California. I help clients overcome mental health challenges in the area of anger management, anxiety, depression, and healing wholly through grief and loss.
Hi, I'm Tanya Cross, the accessory designer of Accent Glory. My specialty is natural hair accessories and Afro-centered jewelry design.
Kuumba creativity. This is I love creativity. I love creativity. Right. So to do always as much as we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
I think this is, it's so funny because the first thing I thought about, and I guess using the word community, it can stretch in many different ways. And one of the first thing I thought about, I think back, of course, corporate world. I was a former corporate trainer prior to going into processing. And when I first got the job, they had this much of training material available. Go on and train them. Say what? And of course, most of the people, and I'm like, are you serious? And my thought was, oh no. Listening to how we come in, I said, and I know exactly how they talk. I said, my goal is to make sure, get as creative as possible, to make sure that you have as much going on. When you get out there, you can then teach others and build, because you're my community. And they're not going to think that, they're not going to assume that our community can't do because we don't have resources. We're very creative and we make it work. And that's one of the things too. I love the fact that I take with me into the business world. Oh, one monkey don't stop no show. We're going to find a way to do it because no one business is the same. We're going to make it work for you. I love that. And to be able to have that thought, like for me, and when I'm a consultant and I can look at your business and go, okay, bet. Let me ask you one question. And now I got 15 ideas. This is what we're going to do. I love that about us. Because we want to succeed.
That's what I love. The fact that for somebody who is so in love with structure and systems and having things in line, I'm so creative in how I do it. And there's no boundaries in the way I do it. Like when I sit and I talk to someone about their business operations and their workflows and stuff, I don't just look specifically at this one thing and let's line this up. I'm looking at the big picture. And like you said, I'm coming up with all these different ideas. Next thing you know, I got a stack of stuff that I can provide or show you or figure out. And it's just because my creative wheel is always turning. I'm always trying to figure out, how can I make this better? How can I leave you to be more efficient and more successful in your business so you can grow and share it with the next person?
Nicole, I'll be pulling your ear because you sound like me. We could just talk about process all day. I finally found my equal.
Oh, Lord.
What did you do, Paula? What did you do?
I'm over here getting all excited, like, ooh.
I know. You saw them. They both lit up at the same time. I was just going to say, the thing that I like about being a Black entrepreneur is that I can create something up here and I can manifest it.
Yes.
That's a powerful thing, to be able to create something from a thought and to be able to make it a tangible thing that people can either touch, use, or experience.
That's good.
That speaks to the creativity of being a Black entrepreneur.
Yeah, right. It's like you said earlier about how most of our Black entrepreneurs businesses just come out of fruition of just a thing that we're good at, that we, a thought that we had or a need that we needed, and we created something out of it, and we were able to then service it and sell it to other people, and that's how our businesses have gotten started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree. I love us because we're make kind of do. Excuse my southern slang.
I love it.
But we're make kind of do people. Because like Paula said, we can take nothing and make it into something. And I think about growing up as a little girl in North Carolina in the country, how like my grandmother was like a miracle worker. She could take 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and feed a whole
We got a feast.
Make it happen.
feed a whole community. But that's just a part of us and who we are as a people. We have and even things that already exist, we just take it to another level, because I look at these gymnasts, these videos and these Black gymnasts and these routines they be doing, and they just add our flavor to it. I call it flavor. We just take things to the next level and elevate it and make it better. And as a people, we should embrace that creativity that we have, to elevate our culture, to elevate our people, and to make do.
Yeah,
that is so true. I think for me, it's when I think about creativity, it's really about finding your own style and finding how the information that you have, how you gonna make it work for you in your own language. And we talked a little bit about that earlier, because it's like we get all this information, especially as therapists. We're in this thing where, what works with, the best with anxiety. People are struggling with anxiety or PTSD or whatever. But it's like, I could take that information and that's all great. But how am I going to translate it to me so that I can help my client in the language that they understand the best? And so it's just beyond information. And when I started out, it was really just about providing information. And it was more like a class for my clients. And it was like, this is not even my style. Like, I'm funny and all of these other things. Those are the things that I use now because I was able to relax and translate it into my own language. And I tell my clients, like, hey, I use real life stuff. I tell, my clients know a lot about me, because it's like, okay, if I see myself and I see that I've been there and I know that what they're going through, it's like, yeah, okay, it's the same thing with me. And I'm teaching them real principles. I'm very practical when it comes to the information that how are we going to put this in real life situation when it's domestic violence and suicidal thoughts and, depression that's coming back every season. How are we going to make this practical? It's not just about, we have this term in mental health, coping skills. Use your coping skills all the time. And it's like, that's great and all, but what happens when your mom dies? Them coping skills are hard to use. Yeah. And so, okay, how are we going to now meet our clients where they are? And, because this, I always tell my clients, that one really knocked the wind out of you. Okay, how can we repurpose these coping skills for the season that you are right now? It's not just music. Oh, that ain't working right now. So it's like, okay, now what are we going to do? Maybe we need to change the genre. Put on a rock song, and so that you can stop this thing out. It doesn't matter if music is your thing. Let's make it work together. Come up with and be creative in it. And that's really where I found it wasn't about teaching a class or teaching a skill. It was about, okay, how can we make this work in your life where you are right now? And that's when I began to find different resources and different just songs. Like, I use a lot of music therapy because that's my go-to. And so I'm always looking for songs, and how can I use Disney songs in a group, they'll be like, what in the world is she coming with? Because, listen to the words though, close your eyes, and what did you hear different that you never heard before? And why did it resonate with you today? And so it's different. You have to be creative because every life situation is not the same. Mm-hmm. And though I have, this worked for me in the past, it may not work today.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, and I was gonna say it's funny that you said that, and I think people mistake our creativity and they use that saying, "But you're always so strong," which in their mind assumes that we can't be weak. I am still human, and I am 100% woman. I can
Right.
collapse and fall like the best of them. In fact, I want somebody else to learn to be creativity and how to catch me when I do fall, because
That
I'm not
part.
going to be
Yes.
always
That
strong.
part.
I am human. God is 100% strong. That is not me. And I need, like, because I suffer from anxiety. And it's so funny because you talk about coping skills. I always have to cope to help you deal with you. So then later I can go and deal with myself in private.
Yes. Right. Right. And
Yeah.
it doesn't work if we don't teach people. And that's why I tell people it's about practical. It became, for me as a therapist, it was not about the why. Why did this happen to me? Because we get stuck in that place. It was more about how. It was about how are we going to get through this. And so I take a lesson and say, okay, let's talk about how. Tell me your story. Tell me your story. How does this lesson apply to how is it going to teach you to get through that?
Yeah. I know for me, my regular job is fitness. It's always been fitness. I've been a fitness professional for 20 years, managing and creating programming for some Fortune 500 companies around the world. And Pilates is that thing where you're not really supposed to be super creative with it, right? There's this thing where it's supposed to be classical, and it's the classical order, and we don't change the thing. And here I come with my African drums in the background. And, I'm putting a little twist on this exercise because I see my clients need the twist in order to feel successful to do the thing. And so sometimes the creativity can work against you, like Nikki said, because you're not following the rules when you're being creative. And I don't know how you can build a whole culture that the world is now eating and sleeping when you're following the rules. Like, we're not rule followers.
No.
Right.
That's what creativity is for.
Yeah.
And so I think there's sometimes we have to look at people for who they are at face value and understand and see what creativity looks like for them and how they emote creativity, because it's going to look different for each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
But inside of our businesses, we definitely are creators. Just how, Paula's whip ain't the same body butters as Hydradiance. I'm going to tell you that right now. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I got my stuff and she got her stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, little trade secrets.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the things that make us the same, but different and unique.
Yeah, because I think as a culture, we're resilient in what we've experienced. But then within my own walk of life, I used to resent the word resilient, because I was like, people were just like, oh, you just take a hit and keep on going, blah, blah, blah. And like Nicole was saying, like, I had to check myself and do my coping mechanisms to deal with you, and then check myself later afterwards. But then I realized that my creativity fuels my resiliency. Like, that's how I'm able to be so resilient, because I've had to become creative in how I manage through my seasons of life, how I manage through my business phases, how I manage through all these things. So if I didn't do that creatively, I'd probably be in somebody's side or sitting on the opposite side of Shatayia going, help me. So to just, I think it's just a natural thing for us in our culture. We have to be creative in order to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
If we wasn't creative, we wouldn't have made it through what we went through. And they, they've been trying to kill us, no matter slavery, crack epidemic, everything, the war on drugs, and now the prison
kids coming out.
School to prison pipeline. And that's so good, Nicole, because we keep evolving, but we don't collectively come together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we have to be able to know our power. And I think if we know our power and how we shape, everybody copying us. Everybody is. It's the culture, and that's what that should, I would hope, that should make us want to just be, like I said earlier, just be kind and just,
Yes.
it's so much more power in networking than it is, and saying, oh, I got to, like we said earlier, keep our secrets. It's not about that. It's not, it's really not. It is about helping each other, because if we don't, we gonna kill our own selves.
Yes.
Right.
We've been brainwashed to believe there's only room at the top for, funny, is it only room for a small amount of us, but a whole lot of everybody else?
Right.
It's room for all of us. Should be pulling you, you pulling me. We all holding together, so we all gonna rise. No, that's it's like, that's part of our problem. Why we have an automatic nature to be strong and to develop and be creative and do the things we need to do so we can get up. We, for whatever reason, we've been so, I don't want to say conditioned and brainwashed, that we just can't take everybody with us.
Right.
You don't take the toxic people with you, but you do take the strengthening people who are there to help you grow and blossom.
That's good.
Woo,
that's good.
We got one more, ladies. It's the final day. Now I want to shift this one just a little bit. Hey, make sure you are following, liking, and subscribing on whatever social media platform that you are watching and listening to the sound of my voice right now. It's your girl, Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva, and this has been brought to you live by Black Pinterest Live. Black Pinterest Live is a 3-day event that happens in powerful Washington, D.C., February the 24th through the 26th, where we will spend 3 days creating your powerful Pinterest evergreen funnel to get you real ideal leads on autopilot. Come and join us. Simply go to www.blackpinterestlive.com. Peace.